Vanessa, hi, Jim Delapine here. You're doing a great job with Grace here. I see you have a background that's kind of blurry, but I see you were clever and put a table in the foreground here, which is fine. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to also give you some additional tips here with regards to the text, which it just looks a little odd. I note that you have the image here of what is it here? Let me just do, well, whatever that is, attached to your name. Okay, so yes, that is a clipping mask, but you have to create an adjustment layer that is a clipping mask. So I'm going to give you directions on how to do that in my comments area. Also, you have to have it saved and rename selections as a channel. So I'm also giving you directions on how to do that. So do that for the final submission. So I want to give you some additional tips here for the text that you may like. And it's not required. I just want to show you. Okay. So I created some text here. Okay. And so I want to use you shouldn't use this kind of font because it's thin. You want to use something that's thick. Okay, so it doesn't matter the color. All right, so I just created this in Arial black. So what I'm going to do is take this text here and I'm going to hit Control T and scale it up and make it as large as possible here. I'll hit Enter and then I will go to Edit, Transform. I want to create perspective, but it doesn't. You're not allowed to do perspective with text, so you need to rasterize the layer. So I'm going to go to my Grace layer and right click and select rasterize type. So it's no longer an editable font or type. Now it's they're pixels. So now it allows you to go in and go to actually let me just make this a little smaller. Just do this and do that. Okay, so I would say something like that. And now go to Edit, Transform, Perspective. Okay, so you get a bounding box around that. Now I'm going to click and pull this out and match the perspective of the lines on the table. Okay, so something like that. All right, so I'll hit Enter. And then with my Move tool active and Auto Select checked, I'll click on Grace and that'll bring me right to that layer. I'll hit Control T and I'm going to click on the top right bounding box, start dragging out. I'm going to hold down Alt key to scale it out from the center, and I'll just stretch it out and just pull up these bounding boxes. I want to maximize the space, and I would say something like that, maybe a little bit tighter. Okay, so I'll hit Enter. Then I'll go to Edit, Transform, Perspective. Whoops. See, now it can't happen with text again. So you need to right click and then rasterize type. Then go to Edit, Transform, Perspective, and pull out the bottom left or right bounding box and pull this out to kind of match the perspective again. Okay? And it's okay that it goes outside the viewing area a little bit. Okay? And ideally, you really wouldn't want to, but it's okay. So I'll hit Enter. Okay, so now I'm going to select both of these layers by control clicking on the Garden Glitter Grace and both of those, and I'm going to drag these down to the bottom to be above that background picture. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to take Grace and Garden Glitter and merge these together. So if I select Grace and hit Control or Command E, it merges them down. So now they're on one layer. Then I'm going to Control or Command click on that thumbnail for this new text, okay? And then I'm going to hide that, okay? Then I'm going to select the background picture. So what I have is a selection of the text, all right? I have the background picture layer active, and now I'm going to hit Control J. Control J is going to copy what's on this layer inside these marching ants or selection, and is going to copy that to the layer above. So now Control J. All right. So you don't see any difference here because it's seamless. So if I hide the background, you'll see that it copied that to the layer above. Okay. Now what you're going to do is create a layer style. So If you double click on layer 4, away from the name, you're going to get the layers dialog box. I'll pull it up here. And then I'm going to check bevel and emboss. Okay, now you start to see what's happening here. Okay, so if you select the bevel and emboss name, you get access to the settings. All right, so you have options of inner bevel, outer bevel. I tend to like outer bevel. All right, and you can also fudge around with this, just explore, and note that if you click on this shading area, if you click this dial, you can change the location of the shadow, which is kind of cool. Okay, so do what feels comfortable for you. Make it feel good here. All right. All right. So now you can do additional things here. For example, if you want this to stand out more, you could do a color overlay. So we'll check color overlay, and then check the name of color overlay. So it'll give you access to the colors. All right. So if you click on this color box here, all right, it gives you access to choosing a color to change. Instead of this red or pink color, you could choose a blue, maybe a green, all right, something like that. So let's say green because it's a natural kind of thing. So I'll hit OK. And you can also increase the opacity of it if you want it more vibrant, but you certainly don't want 100%. So do what feels comfortable and then hit OK. And you have something that's different and unique. And the option is yours, okay? But just make sure you do the channels, save the selection as a save and rename channel, and accomplish your adjustment layer that is a clipping mask. So, for example, if I select this shovel here, this arm here, I'm now going to create, let's say, for example, a levels adjustment layer. All right, so that layer is active. I'm going to click here and go to levels. All right. So now, if I make an adjustment here, this is what's going to happen. It's going to affect the entire image. So what's happening is it's affecting all of the underlying layers. All right, all of these layers down here. It's not going to affect anything above it. However, if you make it a clipping mask, it will affect only this one layer. So you accomplish that by Alt or Option clicking in between the layers. Once you see that funky little icon, just click. All right. So now it's attaching this adjustment layer to only to the shovel. Okay, so you can see the difference there. Okay, so actually this works a little better. It makes it more balanced with this. All right, so you can even make it darker. You can adjust the shadows, and there you go. All right, so I hope that helped. All right, take care. Bye.